everybody. This is a fantastic and sunny Monday morning, or should I say afternoon now. Welcome to the Witty Writers Show, and I am here with the absolutely wonderful... I know you're looking a bit shell-shocked right now. I'm actually here with Lydia Emma Niebuhr.
Yes.
Oh, I was a little bit worried about pronouncing your name. I thought I need to get it right. So it's actually pronounced Niebuhr.
Niebuhr, yes.
Niebuhr. I think it's a really unusual name, Lydia.
It's German. I understand it's a very common name in Germany, but
really,
yep.
Do you know what? I love it, and I've got to say I'm a little bit jealous of you, Lydia, because my maiden name was spelt Jutson, Jutson, which was actually Dutch, and it's supposed to be pronounced Jutson, but almost sounds like somebody's swearing at you. Oi, Jutson.
No, we don't have that. It's with the N-I-E in German, the second vowel is pronounced. That's why it's Niebuhr.
Niebuhr.
Yeah.
Wow. I think it's absolutely lovely. As I said, I'm extremely jealous because I would have loved a nice name like yours when I was young. You can only imagine the nicknames and the teasing I got. But welcome to the Witty Writers Show, Lydia. I'm so thrilled you're here because you've been an extremely busy lady over the years. And I want to give our viewers a little bit of background on you because you are a very, very smart lady, and I'm a bit blown away by you, to be honest with you, because you're highly educated in sciences, and obviously that's something that you chose to go full on into, and then ended up doing medical research, which in itself is, it's such a specialized field. But I get the impression that you've always had that passion for writing.
I think it was my career that was in the shadow of what I did, early on, all the way through. I always liked to write, maybe just tell stories too, and not always write them down. But yeah, it would. But when I went to college, and I was the first in my family, and all of my cousins too, that went to college. Wow. And I went to college with $72 in the bank. That was it. And we didn't have a lot. I grew up on a farm, never felt poor, but just never had a lot of spending money, So my goal was to get an education that would give me a job where I could get some money. And I didn't really have the confidence in myself to consider writing as that kind of job. And science was my second love. So, and an original goal was to go into medical school, but I got interested in research, and I don't know how much you know about my background, but I started in medical research at the University of Minnesota. And after about a year and a half, I was transferred to the University of Minnesota in Austin, Minnesota, in the Hormel Institute. Was wow. There for almost a year. And at that time, grants were very hard to get. And that's how the Hormel Institute, which was part of the University of Minnesota, got their money. So I just literally walked across the parking lot to the Hormel plant one day because I wanted to stay in Austin. And the receptionist says, "Oh, my dear, you need to go across the highway to the corporate office." And I did. 2 weeks later, I got a job, and I stayed there for 37 and a half years. So.
Wow. I tell you, do you know what? You're so inspirational, Lydia. You really are, because it just goes to show that if you don't ask and put yourself out there for opportunities, you're not going to get them. You have to be, you have to go out and make opportunities for yourself, don't you? I think in any career, whether it's what you was doing with regards to research or as an author, you've still got to sort of put yourself out there and create the opportunities.
Well, when I was hired by the Hormel company, George A. Hormel and Company at that time, I was the third woman hired on what they used to call the management payroll. the number one woman retired, number two woman moved away. And so for most of my career, I think if they went back in the records, they would find that I was number one woman of seniority in the management for my whole career. The quirk in the whole thing came when I asked for maternity leave. No one on the management payroll, considering you're all men, ever asked for maternity leave. So there, that's my niche in Hormel history.
That's amazing. I honestly think it's incredible that ladies like yourself are able to lead the way for other women, because, being the first in that type of situation, it's always really, really tough. But once you've done it, you've then led the way for other women who come in behind you and make it easier for them. And I take my hat off to you. I think you're absolutely incredible, Lydia. We've got lots of people joining us right now, so I'm going to pop them up on the screen so they can say hello to you. We've got Suzanne, who's saying, she says, hello, ladies. She is fabulous. She's another author herself. We've also got Beth from England. She's actually, do you know what? I knew her from a little one, as they say. She's a beautiful, amazing young lady right now.
Let me just interrupt that. My husband's grandmother came from England, and we've spent a lot of time in England. It's his favorite vacation spot. His grandmother, England. You never take England out of anybody. You probably know that. So his grandmother was English. I have an aunt who was Scottish. She was a child that was moved out of London during the war and ended up in Scotland. And she's still alive, and I love her dearly. And we have that kind of connection to England, and it's a fun one.
I knew there was a reason why I liked you so much, Lydia. I do get homesick, I have to say, because there's no place like it. It is absolutely amazing. And just like the US, it's amazing how different people are going from one city to another, and how different the accents are from one city to another, even though it's a really, really small country.
Yeah.
I think people don't realize that you can have a country so small and yet it be so different from city to city to city. It's truly amazing. We've also got a comment from James. He says, okay, why does it say Harriet?
Okay.
It's the family's account.
All right. If you put Harriet in front of Lydia and Euland behind Niebuhr, that is my whole name. Now, when I was in research and development at Hormel, I wrote a lot of papers, and for 17 years, I actually developed ingredients for cosmetic companies and did a lot of presentations. So I was known in that industry for a while under the name Harriet Euland. And so when I started writing, I said, this is the inner me. So I dropped the Harriet and the Euland and became Lydia Emma Niebuhr, which is, I was baptized Harriet Lydia Emma Niebuhr, and then married, became Euland. So
I've got to say, when you become an author and you're actually publicating your name, it makes sense to shorten it to something that's memorable, because otherwise, I've seen authors that have got really unusual names or really long, and I think to myself, how on earth do their readers manage to remember their names? I mean,
there's
like a sieve.
There's also kind of defense there too. I mean, what if I wrote something and the family hated it and they didn't want, they wouldn't have to claim me.
That's true as well. I was surprised my family haven't disowned me already, to be honest with you, Lydia. But there we go. We've also got Heather, who's joined us. Hi, Heather. I would suggest everyone check out Heather's new book group, because it's absolutely fantastic. We've also got Anna. She says hi. And we've also got Kirsten. She says good afternoon. Hello, Kirsten.
Hello. How are you doing, Kirsten? Feeling better, I hope.
Oh, bless her. I hope she is feeling okay. I was actually watching you, Kirsten, with Lydia on your interview chat, which was really lovely. I felt like I was getting the inside scoop. Now, Lydia, oh my gosh, you've had such a massive journey so far. I mean, obviously, you've had, as you said, 37 years plus in the medical side and research and everything else. And I can't even imagine, the blood, sweat, and tears that went into that. And then just when you retire and other people are just relaxing and chilling out and doing gardening, you then go on to publish over 14 books.
Well, I didn't just stop being a research person at Hormel and start writing. These were in drawers for over the years. I I saved them all, but to tell you how old, and I'm really dating myself here, they're all were saved on 5-inch floppies. But fortunately for me, I had printed them all out on my dot matrix printer and had them in drawers. So when I retired, I started pulling them out, and then by retyping them, it was my first edit. And I know I've told Kirsten this story, and I've told others that the one book I wrote literally on the job, I was in a cold room in a gelatin plant in Davenport, Iowa, and I couldn't leave the room because of the equipment I was watching. So I had a little pocket notebook, and I started writing the book, and in 3 days, the whole book was done. And that was the first book I put out, and that was called The Phantom of Cherry Hill.
That's just amazing. I tell you, it just goes to show, one, that people should definitely not throw anything away when it comes to writing. And two, it's always a good idea to have it on paper somewhere, because technology moves on so well. From when we were young, technology has moved so fast. And as you said, 1 minute you're using a floppy disk, next minute you're using a tiny little chip thing like that you're sticking into your computer. So thank goodness you were so smart to do so.
Maybe it was just ego. I don't know. I had a stack of them. I don't know. But see, when I did do research, and I was in the protein chemistry of byproducts of the food production at the plant. If you developed a product, you had to go to the plant and set up the process. And that would require sometimes being away from home for a week. And I never liked to just go out and have dinner by myself. So I would bring stuff in, and I would write in the night in the hotel room. And what else can you do? I mean, I wasn't a big TV fan. And so that's when I wrote.
I think that's fantastic. I think any writer who uses any opportunity to write is a very smart writer. I used to literally have to wait outside my daughter's school for nearly an hour for her to come out, only because if you didn't get there early, you couldn't get any parking whatsoever. You were stuffed. You would literally be holding up traffic or getting in the way. So I would just go early, sit in my car, and I'd take my iPad or my phone, and I'd be writing. But it's amazing when you do that 5 days a week. It's amazing how much you can accomplish.
Yep. Well, for a while, I also had a partner, and we had a sewing business. So I had a traveling sewing machine that I would take on these trips when I was going to plants too. And making clothes. So yeah,
I think that's wonderful. I think any chance of being creative is a good thing, because it makes us feel good.
Yeah.
And we feel accomplished as well. It's just amazing. Now, everybody who's watching, if you've got questions for Lydia, don't be shy. Put them in the comments and we can ask them for you. Now, the other thing that really impresses me about you, Lydia, because I admire anybody who can turn their hand to different things, especially in the writing world. But you write for multi-genres as well, I believe. Historical fiction, which you must love because of your love of research. Plus, you've written for middle grade and young adult as well. I think that's wonderful.
Well, I started writing for middle grade readers, partly because I have to brag. I have very intelligent children, 3. The second one taught himself to read, or maybe his older sister helped teach him to read before he went to school.
Wow.
And I remember so clearly him coming home one night, from school one afternoon, and very grumbly saying, "I am not going to read Pippi Longstockings. And I got to looking around, and there weren't a lot of books that had boy characters. Now, almost all of my books have at least a boy in them, except one, or boy-girl combinations. But there also, we went through, my husband and farms, and the farmer turned into historian, and he's also got a book coming out now. And it was tough times, and there were a lot of kids in the rural area that had tough times, and I wanted them to be able to read something that made them smile. So yeah. I have some that have a lot of humor in them, a lot of them, because their age is like 7th, 8th grade, 6th grade, boys are just the girls have discovered the boys, but the boys are just discovering the girls, some things like that. And I touched on subjects that kids that age would be come into contact with. I have one where the boy comes out of foster care, one of them where he thinks his parents are getting divorced and how he's got to deal with that. And one where 2 really good friends, one of them gets cancer. But I never use the word cancer in the book. Describe, which kids that age know anyway. They don't have to have it thrown up to them, but they see how these 2 boys' friendship got them through that. And I have some really fun ones where there's twin girls, and the boys can never tell them apart until they decide, well, so and so has the green boots today, and the other one has the blue boots or something, that kind of thing. And so the last book I wrote, Billy and the Bombers. Bombers wasn't probably the best choice, but that was what my kids' school name was for a while. It's a baseball team. I love baseball.
Oh,
would love if the Minnesota Twins played better. And so this is a story about a boy who's got to move. His father's got to move off the farm, get a job in town, and he thinks the world has come to an end because he can't play baseball. And it's how he gets involved. And then the one, I have one book that has a soul girl as a character, and only because I had a very faithful young reader, and she came to her grandmother one day, a friend of mine said, how come there aren't any girl heroes in stories? So I wrote that one as we were traveling through Europe with some friends.
I think that's lovely, Lydia. I really, really do. And I love the fact that you've written stories that children can relate to, and maybe, it can help them get through similar situations, because I think children are a lot more sensitive than we realize. Obviously children, they're so resilient, but yet they absorb so much and they take on so much, and and things that as adults we think, oh, that's not really a big deal. To a child, it can be a really, really big deal, like having a sick friend, or hearing your parents not getting on, and oh my gosh, are they going to divorce? So I think books like yours that give them some solace in such a lovely way and such a thought out way is absolutely wonderful. I applaud you. I really, really do. And I think there should definitely be more books like yours out there.
Well, one of the things that I made business cards, and I just had to make new ones because my email address died. I always promoted the books as without violence, for young people without violence. Now, the one book that can be for young adult and middle grade is Under the Daytime Moon. This is a historical fiction. Where I grew up in Minnesota, I grew up in a little town on a farm close to Gibbon, Minnesota. And south of me, between where I lived and the town of New Ulm, Minnesota, was an Indian uprising in 1862. And that's the story of 2 girls, an immigrant girl that comes to move into the area, and an Indian girl who's already living there, and they become friends. And it follows their lives for the time they meet at age 12, up to and through and beyond the conflict. So it covers a lot of years, and it follows their lives. And my goal with that book was to be a champion for the Indians. And I went around with my editor on this. We called them Indians. They were called Indians in 1862, not Native Americans, and now it's a better term. But I always felt they kind of got the shaft from our government, and I wanted to show that and show what was the result of it. And so I had put that one out a couple of years ago, but with the help of Fox Publishing, have republished it under the name Under the Daytime Moon. And it's a much better book. And it did involve a lot of research. And I have a lot of help because my husband is a retired history professor from the 2-year college that is in Austin, Minnesota. And so he can tell me if it's factual.
I've got to tell you, considering you love writing historical fiction, that has got to come in handy, having a husband who knows everything.
Yeah, he's smart. He knows everything. So I can, no matter what subject, he can fill me in and get me on the right track. So
that's absolutely fantastic. I mean, what a team. You're like a power couple for literature now.
Well, I think, I think with his help, our oldest grandson, who will soon be 16, is also going to be, his first book will be coming out, I think, the end of this summer. Liam, Yule, and Joy is our grandson. I have 3 granddaughters that I know for sure have been writing, 2 of them in newspapers, and they're 15, going soon to be 15, and one is 12, and one is 11, and they do a lot of writing. They just don't always show it to me, but they, it's kind of rubbed off. I never could get anybody to follow into science, so let them follow into writing.
I love that. I mean, that's just fantastic. And it must be so cool for them to see their grandmother, being a prolific author and publishing all these books. That's got to be the coolest thing ever.
I don't know. They're kind of cool about it. They never say anything, so I'm never sure what they're thinking, but
yeah, I bet they drop it into conversation. Oh yeah, my grandma's an author, don't you know? I love it. We've got some more people joining us, so I'm going to pop them on the screen so we can say hello. We got Bonnie who's joined us. She says hello, ladies. And we've also James says the book sounds fantastic. I absolutely agree.
Which one was he talking about?
I think about the 2 girls and their friendship journey. And we've also got Josephine. She says hello lovelies, and good evening. She's in the UK. Okay. Now I know you've got the most amazing book collection behind you, which are all the books that you've actually published, which is just tremendous.
Yes,
those beautiful books. Now, for those of you who are watching, the Sand Dancer and the one next to it, I Am Perfect, are the most recent releases.
This is backwards.
It's always the opposite. That's it. Perfect. Look at that cover.
This one has been republished by Fox, and I'll have to give Fox a lot of credit with what they have done for me. And fortunately, Kirsten warned my editor that I was coming out of scientific writing, which meant that when we first went through, there was a lot of what's his emotion? Science, it's facts.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have a lot of emotion in that one. So that was it. This is the one that I have a lot of fun with. This is called I Am Perfect. And it's
beautiful. Oh, and it's illustrated by Kim Hanso, who I interviewed recently.
Yes, and she did a lovely job. And you can see. Let's see here. These 6 young people all feel they don't fit in, and Kim has made them all different ethnicities, which I think is just great because it's not a problem for one.
It's all children. All children at some point feel socially awkward or self-conscious. And you've both done a beautiful job of the book. It's just absolutely stunning. And James says, that's the one. Forget the title, something about moon.
Well, it's the daytime moon. You know what a daytime moon is?
Daytime moon. There we go, James. Daytime moon. So what you can do, in fact, Kirsten has very kindly just put in the comments your profile link for Fox Point Publishing. So James, you can actually click on that link that's in the comments, and you can view all of Lydia's books, and they're absolutely wonderful. Oh, there we go. Bonnie says the Sand Dancer sounds good. Bonnie, you need to check all of them out because they're amazing. They really, really are. So, I mean, you've been working basically just non-stop.
Yes. Well, finally, I think we were pretty much caught up on edits because I was working on edits for about 4 books at once, and I was just driving me crazy. And one day Dean said to me, if that's the way you're going to feel, then maybe you should stop writing. It's like, no, I can't do that. But now I'm cleared. And so I'm really into book 4 in this Sand Dancer series. And by the way, if anybody, there's 3 books, the 4th one being written in that series, the Thad Wheeler series. Each book can be read independently without having to follow through. But there are carryover characters from book 1 to book 2, from 2 to 3, and 3 to 4. So, there's a little bit of a tie, but you don't necessarily have to read them in order.
I think it takes a lot of skill to be able to write a series that are a series, but they can also be standalone books. I think that's a real skill, because for me, when I wrote my trilogy, I literally just did one continuous story because it just, as I'm finishing book 1, book 2 was just popping in my head, and the story would continue on. But to have those as individuals and a series, I think is a real gift.
Well, it's been fun. And I was explaining the premise of the book that I'm writing now, and Dean said to me, "Where do you get those dark thoughts from? You're a nice person, generally. Why are you getting it?"
They say never to upset a writer because they will kill you off in their next book.
Yeah, right.
Do some death.
Yes. Well, did you by any chance want me to read some of the part of this book? This is the one that's just out.
Oh, Lydia,
perfect.
If you wouldn't mind, that would be absolutely.
I'm going to just read the introduction and then the conclusion, if that's all right. Okay.
Oh, that would be lovely. Oh, I feel excited.
Okay. So it says, "What a dull world this would be if everyone looked the same, don't you think? Though maybe you aren't happy about the way you're growing or the way you look. What can you do when you aren't like everyone else? What do you do when you feel too different? You could sigh and wish to be someone else. Well, maybe there is something else just for you." Okay, then it covers these 4 people, and at the end, it says, "It is important to know you're a special person. Never think your shape or size is not good enough, that you aren't good enough. One day you will prove that your body is right for you. Then you too can proudly declare, 'I am perfect just the way I am.' Being different, okay after all."
Oh, Lydia, do you know what? I absolutely love that. I really, really do. I feel quite tearful, actually. It's so lovely.
Here it is. Kim did such a wonderful job. I told her, I have no experience with this. This is the only one. I wrote this many years ago, and it's, I had fun with it. I liked it. That was something the way I felt. I ran into a couple of kids who were kind of not feeling good about themselves, and that's how that came out. But it was shelved. I had asked a friend of mine who did caricatures to do that, and he didn't think it was a good idea, so I just packed it away again, and then mentioned it to Chelsea one day and Kirsten, and away we went. So.
I love it. I absolutely do. And I mean, I'm the mother of, like you, I'm the mother of 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls. And I think all of them at some stage through their childhood have gone through that, I'm not skinny like them, or, I'm too skinny, or, my feet look too big, or they go through all these changes as children, and they do feel insecure, especially when they're constantly seeing these so-called perfect other children on magazines and everything else. And in fact, we went to Disney World on one occasion when they were younger, and we went to, it was like the main square, so it was just packed, people everywhere. And all of a sudden I thought to myself, this is a perfect ideal opportunity to give my kids a life lesson. I know I'm so strange. It's a bit weird, but I just looked at all these different, and it just blew me away, because as writers, we tend to be a lot more observant, and we tend to be people watchers, and we notice things that a lot of people don't. So I'm stood in this square and I'm looking around and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you couldn't get a more diverse place than Disney. I mean, there were people of all sizes, shapes and colors and personalities. And I thought, this is too good an opportunity to miss. So I stopped on my children and they thought I was going nuts. And I said to them, just stop a minute. I want you to have a look around and see how many supermodels you can see. And they looked at me like really odd. And I said, no, I want you to do it. I want you to look at all these thousands of people that we're here with now, and just have a look and see how many supermodels you can see. And they all started craning their necks and looking around and scanning all the crowds. And they all said, no, can't see any. I said, exactly. I said, that's exactly the lesson I want you to learn. I said, because those people that you see in the books and magazines and in the movies are such a small percentage of the human race. Yes. Hardly anyone looks that good. We've all got bits that are different sizes, feet that are two different sizes, wavy hair, straight hair, different color skin, blah, blah, blah. The point is, there is no perfect human being. Everyone you see is unique, and that's wonderful. And they were always like, oh, okay, Mum, yeah, we get your point. But I thought it was just a pivotal moment to be able to give them such a good example. Yeah. So I love the fact that your book does that for children. It says you are perfect just the way you are, because I think more children need to hear things like that.
Yeah, I do too.
I feel like you're my soulmate, Lydia. We've got a couple more comments, so I'm just popping them on here. Oh, Bonnie says, I'm wearing my Destination Unknown t-shirt, which she won from me recently. I love you, Bonnie. You are so sweet. And I've seen a photograph, I think. So, and if I remember rightly, Bonnie, you made it look really good, I have to say. We've also got one. Oh, Bonnie says, I am perfect, looks like a valuable book. I absolutely agree with that. I really, really do. I think it's just beautiful. Now, we discussed earlier about you possibly doing a book giveaway. Did you decide on which one you would like to do?
Well, since I guess I don't really know. I kind of thought that I Am Perfect was one, but like I said, I'm not sure how you get these books to them, who wants them, or however we do this, because I ordered these books, and it took me a long time to order them because, number one, I'm not very savvy with the computer, and it took me 3 weeks, I think, to order them, so they haven't come yet. Now, and I have Books of the Sand Dancer. The book, The Order of the Hitchhiker hasn't arrived either yet, so.
Wow. Now, a lot of the books are available on Amazon.
All of the early books are available on Amazon.
Fantastic. Well, let's do one of those, if that's all right with you, and then we can just send it direct to the winner. Okay. Okay. Now, all you have to do, this will be US only, everybody, because otherwise it just gets too expensive for our authors, and none of us are making thousands. It's a myth.
Well, Kirsten says we're going to. Didn't she say that?
Okay. Well, eventually we will all get there, but at the moment, no. So it will be US only, but all you have to do to enter to win a copy of one of Lydia's books is to share Lydia's author interview. You can do it on any platform where I am, so I can see it, and you can tag me so I can see it. And you can share as many times as you like. So the more shares, the more entries you get to win one of Lydia's amazing, beautiful books. Now, the winner for last week, as you know, we had Ashley LaRue on the show, which was super exciting as well. And the winner for sharing Ashley's interview is Sherry Brown. I have messaged Sherry, so I will keep on that. But I have messaged her, and hopefully she will get her copy soon of the fabulous Ashley. So we're getting winners every week, Lydia. It's absolutely wonderful.
Do you want me to offer a book that's already on Amazon?
We can do that.
Do you want one that's sort of serious or one that's funny?
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a good one.
Here's one.
We can let the winner choose.
Okay.
That face. Oh my gosh, look at that face. That's beautiful.
This is The Tale of a Seventh Grade Dog.
Oh my gosh, that is super cute.
This is taken from the real life adventures of that number 2 son that didn't like Pippi Longstockings. My husband and I were traveling in Europe, and we called home, and he said, "Can I try out for a play?" And we said, "Sure." He comes home and he said, "Oh," and he could mock different accents and dialects and stuff like that. And so I got the part. The part turned out to be a German woman who was the camp counselor. I've never laughed so hard in all my life, but him march out there in this skirt, his father wasn't too sure about that. But this is kind of based on there. This boy has to go and learn how to bark because he promised his mother he'd take part in something, and he ended up getting the role of the dog in a play, and so he had to learn to bark. And so that's one of the humorous ones that I have.
Now, Lydia, you've got to tell me, did your son actually nail the German accent?
Oh, did he ever? I mean, the audience was in stitches. He was good. He was good. But they have him march across the stage in this skirt, and with all these little kids following him because he was camp counselor. It was hilarious. And I remember I was helping backstage, and I was sitting crossover on his lap facing him, and I said, I thought I would have to teach my daughter how to use mascara, never my son.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I think that's so funny. My husband is actually very, very good at different accents. And I think that's why we've been so happily married for so long, because he cracks me up. He will come out with the strangest things. And for our 20th wedding anniversary, we went to New York. I'd never been, and he took me, and it was just fantastic. But the whole time, Lydia, that we were there, he kept going, bearing in mind he's British. I'm terrible at accents, but he kept going, "Hey, I'm walking here. I can't do it properly. I can't do it." But he nails these accents, and that he did that the whole time we were in New York. He just slotted straight in.
Well, I have 3. Oldest is a daughter, and the youngest is another son. I always said if I line those 3 up and something really embarrassing would happen, my daughter and my youngest son would want to just fade into the woodwork. My oldest son would step forward and take credit for it.
Oh my God. I think it's so much fun when your kids are like that. Years and years ago, when the kids were teenagers, we did this like a 4th of July boat show. We'd literally just moved to America, so it was all very new. Our neighbors said, "Oh yeah, it'd be great fun, enter and it'll be great." So I bought my boys, I decided to do Hawaiian theme because I had very little time. So I bought my boys Hawaiian shirts, hats, shorts, and everything else. They were said, "No, I'm not wearing that. Don't want to wear that." I said, "You either wear that or you're wearing the grass skirts and the coconuts." I will let you guess what they picked, Lydia. Hate to say, they were the next day they were on the boat with music blaring, and they had coconuts, grass skirts, and were doing the hula. Oh my gosh.
They got mom.
Oh, They just absolutely crack me up. Now, I wanted to talk to you about the beautiful space that you're sat in right now, because I think it's super important for any writer to have a really good environment in which to be creative. And you've actually created your own, and I think it's absolutely wonderful. Tell us about your writing space.
It is 12-foot diameter octagon, extra wide windows. So I have a window on every wall, except for where the door is. When I furnished it, I got glass top desk, glass for writing desk and computer table. So there's nothing chunky taking up, so it seems lighter. And we have a lot of wine and cheese parties here too. We're due every year when I start coming out here using the writing center. We have a reopening with champagne, and we haven't done that this year. Unfortunately, last year we really couldn't, and before that, the year before that, 2019 was the last one we did. And at the end of 2019, this very, very good friend of mine who we traveled with, him and his wife, he passed away at the end of the year. And so it's not quite the same, but we're going to do it. We're going to have his wife is going to be with us, and some other people we're going to be joining in now. So yeah, we're going to open it up, but it's kind of the thing. I have a heater in here because I really push it to get out here early. And later on I'll have a fan, but with the windows all around, I can usually catch the breeze coming through. And I have a little weather vane outside, which tells me which direction the wind is from. So I know which windows to open.
That's the smart medical side of you, scientific side kicking in there. I think it's absolutely lovely that not only can you use it as a dual purpose space, but I think it's lovely that, you're going to be able to have a small event in memory of your friend, which I'm so sorry you lost him, but it's really lovely that you'll be able to, put some positivity in the area and do it in his memory.
Yep.
I think that's lovely. But do you find that having that separate space away from the house enables you to be more productive? Because I don't know about you, I can't settle and write if I know I've got stuff to do in the house. I've got an ironing pile to do, or I've got this to do, I've got that to do. And I can't switch off. I find it very difficult switching off from being in the house because there's little things that I have to do and I can't get stuck into my writing.
Well, a couple of years ago, and we live on the farm that Dean's parents had and his grandparents. We added onto the house, and the major part of that addition is the library. We have to build more shelves because even though this is a huge room, it's filled, and it's Dean has his desk and his computer in there, and that's his working space. But it's a split level house, and so on the lower level, I had redesigned an area where I could, because we had little grandchildren for a while, I could close up the drawer where the keyboard was in and close the doors and keep the computer away. And that's where I work in the winter months because I don't have a heater strong enough to be out here. In fact, I'm not allowed to even come out here if there's even a little bit of snow on the sidewalk. Those are the rules from.
I can understand why. Having broken 2 ankles in less than a year, I totally agree with that, Lydia. Because you never know.
Yeah, no, I don't. But I just like I said, I've got the heater out here, and I can put the fan in summer. And I'm out here almost every day if I can be. The only thing that chases me out of here is sometimes a thunderstorm. If I want to get in the house before I get soaked, and I never leave my computer out here, so I want to carry it in. Or if in Minnesota, the humidity can get pretty high sometimes in summer, and no matter how many fans you got going, it just doesn't work. So yeah.
I feel you on that one because we lived in South Carolina for 5 years. And then the summer, 9 times out of 10, we had 100% humidity. And you walked outside and it was like being slapped with a wet blanket. It was like, You could literally have a shower, go outside, and then instantly feel like you need another one. We've got some more comments, so I'm going to pop them up because time. It's amazing how quick the time goes. It really, really is. It's crazy. Kirsten says, fingers and toes crossed when the world opens up again. I agree. I cannot wait. I'm sure everybody feels the same way, especially for us authors, because we're not able to do all the things we would normally do. Bonnie says, I will share it on Facebook. Oh, thank you. She's awesome. She's awesome. She's a big sharer of the show, and we truly, truly appreciate it. Bonnie says, oh, I nearly deleted it by accident then. She says, oh, I want the tale of the 7th grade dog. Oh, it's that cover. It is that cover. Because it's a golden retriever, isn't it?
Well, this is when I was doing the self-publication on Amazon, I used their stock photos. So that's the only thing that I can come up with.
I'm a great lover of golden retrievers. I really am, and Labradors, because we had a golden retriever, and my gosh, she literally lived until she was 15, and she was the most beautiful and smart and sensitive dog. So as soon as I saw that cover, I was in love, because I love goldies. I can't help it.
Well, we don't have a dog out here. We have 3 head of Black Angus calves, young cattle out here now. My husband raised them, so, and they're I name everything, and he makes fun of me. I mean, I even have a name for my car, but last year he had 4, and he called them Gladys Knight and the Pips.
I love that.
So this year I asked him, I said, well, what are you naming? Are you going to stay with the musical theme kind of thing? He said, oh, I don't know, I can't think of any. So I named them Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Oh, I love that. It just rolls off the tongue there, Lydia. It really
yeah.
Bonnie says, wine, cheese, a woman after my own heart.
Absolutely.
You and me both. I love a nice red wine and a cheese selection, ideally. I'm a cheese addict like my sister, unfortunately. Now, this is going to make you giggle. Lydia, is your chipmunk back?
I would have been awake since 5 o'clock this morning. There was a chipmunk under the bush, under our bedroom window, and it's tick, 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 tick. Oh, it doesn't stop. He never wears out his voice. And he won't leave. Yeah, the chipmunks, what they tend to do when I plant flowers, and the squirrels too, they dig everything out. So I'm got a safe war with them this year. I bought, cayenne pepper.
Yes.
Well, I bought some off the internet. It's 60,000 Scoville units, which is probably 600 times what you buy in a store. And from now, when I plant flowers, this is going to be spread around the base of my flowers, and they better put the little rules in there and decide that they got to leave it alone.
Do you know what? I've suddenly got visual image of like squirrels and chipmunks speeding across your garden like Speedy Gonzales. So
well, out here, because we're out, we're a ways from any like town. Our closest town is the intersection down here called Corning. But one day as I was riding here, a coyote ran across. We've had woodchucks go by. We have turkeys, deer. They're kind of disappeared. Every once in a while, there's a bald eagle that'll swoop down around here, making hawks and stuff. And so, But when I'm out here, when it's nice and the windows are open, and I plug in a CD in my computer, kind of classical music, it's kind of fun to watch if you sit real still. The robins and even some of the squirrels will hop up close around me and stop and cock their head. They hear it, but they can't quite figure out what it is. But the robins are the most fun. Yeah.
I think it's lovely. And I'm a huge nature fan, as all my readers know. But it sounds like you've got like a constant, endless supply of little critters Like you got stories about it. I'd be in my element. I really would.
Oh, the only ones that, kind of make a mess are the raccoons if they get into the corn that he has for the cattle, but then now he's got bin, so they can't knock over sacks and stuff like that. But so they're the only ones that are really a pest, but I haven't seen any of them this year. And the turkeys disappeared, and I think the deer have moved on too. We have some wooded areas down the road, and I think they've gone into them. But
oh, that's probably where all the shoots are. That's what they're probably looking for. Hang on. What did she say? Okay. Kirsten says, ask Lydia about her chipmunk entertainment outside her writing center.
Well, I try to be tolerant, but when I mess up my gardens, the tolerance goes out the window. And Dean didn't like the idea that it's been 2 summers now. A stray cat wandered in. It wasn't ours, just came around with. I loved it when she'd come prancing by with this chipmunk in her mouth. I know. I should be more kind-hearted.
Yes.
But if they didn't let flowers alone, I'd leave them alone.
Oh my gosh. Do you know what? A cat's a good thing. We had a cat in South Carolina, which we couldn't bring with us to California, unfortunately, because she'd pretty much moved in with our neighbor, which was fine, which was lovely. But she was a torturer of, I'm crying, literally laughing. She was a torturer of chipmunks. I've never seen a cat so evil, but look so beautiful. Honestly, Lydia, she would catch these chipmunks and you'd see her laid in the front garden and her paws would be like that. And then you'd watch her and she'd be looking around and then she'd lift her paws off and this little chipmunk would run out like, I'm free. So she'd let it run a certain way. And then next thing you know, she'd pounce on it, get it, play with it, and then hold it for a little bit longer. That same it made me feel awful. It's like she was giving them a slow death. It was evil. In fact, my children, she was called Melody, and my children started calling her Satan and Lucifer. They called the cat Lucifer the cat. Oh my gosh. Right, let's have a look at some more comments. Suzanne says, it's so hard to write when every time you get into a scene, someone interrupts you. I'd love a space like that. And I think you've done the right thing, Lydia, because it is tough, isn't it? Because if you're within eyesight or eye line of your family, it's, darling, blah, 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 or mum, can I have blah, blah, blah? And you just want to be left alone because you're in that writing zone and you just want to be typing away. So I think,
even when I'm in house, I mean, we're on 2 different floors. And it's just the 2 of us. The kids are all gone and married and kids of their own. So I don't have that, interruption, but I do like to be, when I'm in a zone writing, I don't like to be interrupted.
Yeah. So I'm the same. I stay up till stupid o'clock. And my best writing time is when I know I've got everything I needed to get done is finished. And then we've had dinner, everyone's, had their chill out time, they've all gone to bed. And then I'll stay up till stupid o'clock, like 2 a.m, because I'm writing, because that's quiet. There's no traffic noises, there's nothing going on, and I can just get stuck in. And my poor husband says, and what time did you come to bed last night? And I'm like, 2. But I'm still up first thing in the morning, because, you got to do what you got to do to make it happen, haven't you? Yeah. Peggy says, hello, so nice to see you both. She is lovely. Thank you, Peggy. And she also says, absolutely, we'll share on Facebook. Thank you, my darling. She is such a star. And Kirsten says, she makes me laugh, maybe the chipmunks chased all of the animals away. Maybe they were ganging up on them. You never know.
No, I think I've only seen that one noisy one this morning.
Oh my God.
But there's the squirrels. The squirrels knock my flower pots over and dig out. There's nothing planted in them. They dug out and threw the dirt all over the patio. So
They're just curious, aren't they? I mean, they look super cute, but as you said, they can be really disruptive, especially if you like planting vegetables, flowers, or anything. The moment there's freshly dug anything, they are in there.
Right. If you put anything in a pot, if they see you do it, then they think you've buried some food for them. And that's when they rip everything out.
We'll be hearing about Lydia on the news next year. It'll be writer from Minnesota sets traps and little mini buried explosions for chipmunks.
Well, maybe if the cayenne works,
yes,
have a peaceful summer.
It'll be their poor little butts that are exploding, poor little things.
Check in with me about middle of July. We'll see how it goes.
Oh my gosh, I definitely want to find out. I do. Lydia, thank you so much for being fantastic. You are such a lovely woman and so talented. Your books are absolutely fabulous. And everybody who's watching, when you do get Lydia's books, please make sure that you do leave a review. Sorry, look, you can see I'm literally crying with laughter. Please leave Lydia reviews on Amazon or Goodreads, whatever platform you use. Please leave a review. They are so important because they do help other readers find us through your reviews, so they're super important. But Lydia, thank you so much. I'm super excited for you because obviously I know you've got more books to come this year and in the future as well. So I will definitely keep posted on the Fox Point Publishing website because I know all your books and news get all put on there.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being such a wonderful guest.
Thank you for inviting me to do this. I had fun. I hope.
Oh my gosh, you're absolutely wonderful. You really, really are. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We truly appreciate it. Don't forget to join us this Thursday because I'll be interviewing the fabulous Carmen Tribbett, who is also a Fox Point published author as well. And you're all fantastic. You do. This is just a joy. I love doing this. I really, really do. So join us for Thursday's live interview. And Lydia, I hope we can catch up with you again soon in the future.
I hope you do. All right.
Awesome. Well, have a fantastic day, everybody. And we'll see everyone for the next Witty Writers Show on Thursday. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.